The Comet. The total energy in the world is always the same. When you move up and down on a ride, energy should always be conserved. But some energy is lost to non-usable forms like friction. On this ride, you need to consider how much energy is actually lost. Is all of the potential energy converted to kinetic energy? You will consider how the total energy compares. Start by making a prediction. How does the energy at the bottom of the first hill compare to the energy at the top? Before you go to the park, calculate the potential energy. The mass and height are given in the engineering specifications. For this lab, you will need a stopwatch and the vertical accelerometer. At least one person in your group will have to ride the Comet. The first measurement you have to take with the stopwatch is the time for the train to pass the top of the first hill. Stand off to the side of the coaster and wait for the train to get to the top of the first hill. Pick a point at the highest point on this hill. Start timing as soon as the front of the train reaches this point, and stop timing as soon as the back of the train reaches this point. Repeat this at least 5 times and take the average. Record this on your lab. Repeat this for the speed at the bottom of the first hill. Pick a point at the very bottom of that hill. Start timing when the front of the train reaches this point, and stop timing as soon as the back of the train reaches that point. Again, repeat this at least 5 times and take the average. Now that you have all of the times, wait in line for the ride. While you are waiting, do the calculations. The velocity is equal to the length of the train divided by the time that you measured in the last step. Kinetic energy is 1/2 times mass times velocity squared, and the total energy is the sum of the potential and kinetic energies at that point. The next measurement you will need to take with the vertical accelerometer. Hold the accelerometer vertically and look at the reading at the bottom of the first hill and the bottom of the second hill. Remember these measurements until the end of the ride when you record them on the lab. Finally, you have to make a graph of the potential energy and the kinetic energy on the ride. Keep in mind you are making 2 graphs on the lab. Potential energy is based on the height of the ride, and kinetic energy is based on the speed. Use those relationships to make the graph. Or you can make the graphs before you go to the park and save time while you are there. You just have to add numbers once you get to the park.